So I want to talk about Moco's Endgame, and yes, this is a little bit of a problem in the game, and this was a problem we're seeing in Chapter 1, and it is still there in Chapter 2, but as always, I'm going to share some ideas during this video that I've got to combat this. Like I said, hopefully the devs watch this video, they like some ideas, and again, you guys let me know in the comment section your thoughts and opinions on this, and what ideas you have to help combat this problem, and I'll explain the problem. And currently, as it is now in Moco, you want to reach Elite Hunter. Everyone wants to reach Elite Hunter. You get there at level 50, then you get reset to level 1. And then you get access to the Elite Hunter Pass, which I might add is fantastic in this chapter, I think. I think it's got really cool cosmetics. We've got 2 new modules on there to unlock with the Speed Kill and the Heal and Ride. And the final mount on the pass, I think, is fantastic. I did do a standalone video on this, which I will pin in the comments section, explaining it all in more detail. So check that out after you've watched this video. But like I was saying, you get to Elite Hunter, you get access to the Elite Hunter Pass. And the problem is, that only kind of goes up to level 100. And when you get to level 100, you get the Chapter 2 Elite Hunter title, just like we got in Chapter 1 with the Chapter 1 Elite Hunter title. And you get the final level on the Speed Kill module, I think it was. So you get your modules up to level 6. And that's more or less you complete. There's nothing more for you to do in the game, really. I mean, you can do your rifts and complete the time trials and everything else, but you're going to get nothing for it. So a lot of players in the game are thinking, well, what's the point? I'll get to Elite level 100, get my cosmetics off the pass, and then I'll just stop playing, and then I'll wait for Chapter 3. And this was the same with Chapter 2, so this is kind of an endgame problem Moco is facing. So I'll take myself, for example, in this situation. I think I hit Elite Hunter level 100 on the 28th of July, a few days ago. And if we follow the same cadence that we had for Chapter 1 to Chapter 2, I think that was around about 3 months before the update dropped. So if we follow the same cadence, we're looking around about September before Chapter 3 drops. That's if there's no delays, because the team obviously has been away on their summer break. I hope they've had a great time. But I've got over a month of nothing to play for in the game. And yes, I'm going to continue to play. I'm going to continue to level up. I'm a content creator. I make content on Moco. And I enjoy doing it still, even though there's nothing to play for. I still enjoy doing it. I like doing the live streams. But I'm like 0.1% of the player base who will continue to do that and who has that mindset. I can continue to level up, but the problem was when we came into Chapter 2 as well, they removed the leaderboards. And now, this was a bit of a hot topic inside the community because people like leaderboards, and I do get that. I do totally understand that, and I totally agree with it. But it was an XP-based leaderboard, and I think these are kind of pointless, because if you look at all the XP that's available inside of the game to every player, if you keep on top of your daily jobs, you drain your XP, your daily XP every day, you complete all the projects, you do all the time trials, get all the XP off rifts and the dojos, everything else, guys. It's the same amount of XP in the game for every player. So logically speaking, by the end of Chapter 2, if we all done everything, we're all going to be exactly the same level. So XP leaderboards aren't the way to go. So if I'm going to continue to level up in the game, the XP leaderboard isn't even there anymore. So I've got nothing to show for that if I continue to level up. So that is still kind of pointless as well. Because again, we'll take Chapter 1 for example. In Chapter 1, there was a bit of an exploit where you could farm chaos shards on the pass. And a lot of players done this. Well, I say a lot of players, some players done this on top of the leaderboards. And then they fixed the exploit. So in Chapter 1, the players who shard farmed, as it's called inside of Moco, got a big advantage. And when they fixed the exploit, we could never catch them players up that were ahead of us, because they exploited the shards and they got more XP off the pass. And then they fixed it and we couldn't catch them up. So that is another problem you see with XP leaderboards. But that being said, I guess going into Chapter 2, I'd rather have the XP leaderboard than have no leaderboard at all. So I think the best bet for leaderboards would be to add a competitive leaderboard for the rifts and dojos. And what I mean by this is add a leaderboard for the time trials. So the people, I'll take the nightmare rifts for example, the people completing the nightmare rifts in the quickest time obviously go on the leaderboard. So one team will do it, they set a time, and then another team will try and beat that time for each nightmare rift, and then have some titles for the winners at the end of the season. So the team that finishes number 1 on the leaderboard for each nightmare rift will take the throne room rift, for example. We'll get a title saying Throne Room Masters or something like that. An exclusive title to the players who grinded the times and the leaderboards. Finish top of them leaderboards. And that way we're getting leaderboards inside of the game. We're getting competitive leaderboards, because I think it's the most competitive part of Moco is the rifts and dojos. And, you know, players are going to play the game longer because when you think about it like this, guys, the more you play the game, the more you're going to level up, the stronger you're going to get, and therefore you're going to be able to complete these rifts in quicker times. So that'll give players an incentive to play past level 100, because then they're going to be thinking, well, let's carry on playing and level up and get stronger and level up our rings and everything. And then we'll be able to complete these rift time trials in quicker times, and we can get top of the leaderboards. That's going to spark a bit of competitiveness in the scene, which is great because we need a bit of competitiveness in Moco because it isn't there for PvP at the moment. So it's going to give players the longevity to play for longer, because then they can play, level up, get stronger, and then try and beat these times on the leaderboards for the rifts. And I really think that's a good idea for a part of the player base. Obviously, a lot of the player base aren't interested in competing on the leaderboards and getting quick times and things. So it's not going to apply to everyone. But I've also got another idea I want to talk about that'll suit most of the player base, I believe. So the idea I have that I like the best is have a mega rift. So have this mega rift unlock at about elite hunter level 80, and then have it at 8-man rift. So you've got to put a bit more thought into builds and things. You don't have to keep it to a 4-man rift. Have it as an 8-man rift. You get to elite hunter at level 80. You go inside this mega rift. You get all the way to the end and you fight the mega rift boss. And that mega rift boss has a percentage chance of dropping a weapon or a legendary variant of one of the weapons already having game, like the speed shot. That has an extra stat. It looks a lot better. And I think that's going to incentivize players to play, get to elite 80, and then replay this rift. Now, I'd have the rift, I'd have a cooldown on the rift, so you could only maybe do it once every 24 hours just to save spamming it. But I think that's a great idea to give players the incentive to get to elite hunter 80 and then keep replaying this rift, because they're going to want this legendary weapon. Players love boss drops inside of games like this. And this isn't some sort of new idea I've sort of came up with. I've sort of taken this idea and the principle from a game called Destiny. I don't know if you guys have ever played it. Let me know in the comments if you ever have played it. And inside Destiny, it was the same principle. They were called raids inside Destiny, and there was a raid in particular called Vault of Glass. And I think the servers reset every Thursday in Destiny. So every Thursday when I played, we'd get a team together. It was a 6-man raid, and you go inside of this raid, and there was 4 bosses. You go in the raid, you kill the first boss, and then you'd make your way through the raid to the final boss. And I think he was called Atheon, if I remember correctly, my friends. And he had a chance of dropping a legendary weapon, and that weapon was called the Vex Mythoclast. And every Thursday when these servers reset, everyone would be trying to get a team together, raid team together, to go inside Vault of Glass, to try and take down Atheon, to try and get their hands on this legendary weapon. And it was great. Like, you had 3 characters inside of Destiny. You had a Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. So if you didn't get it on your Hunter, you'd switch to your Titan, and then you'd do it again. And you could only complete that raid once. So you could only complete that raid 3 times if you had 3 characters to do it with. And then you had to wait till the following Thursday till the servers reset again. But he didn't drop it every time. It was only a small percentage chance for Atheon to drop this weapon. And the community absolutely loved it. They couldn't wait till Thursday came around so they could get a team together, go through Vault of Glass, and try and get their hands on this highly sought after Vex Mythoclast legendary weapon. And Destiny continued with that sort of mindset going on in the updates and all the new raids that came out. It was the exact same principle. You know, you got to the boss dropped things, and then they even started incorporating armor there. You could only get this type of armor by beating this boss in this raid. So people were then completing the raids to try and get the armor sets and things. And I really think Moco is a great fit for that type of thing inside of the game. They could just do the same principle. Because like I said before, guys, people love boss drops. And if that drop's going to be really awesome, that the boss is going to drop like a legendary speed shot bow, players are going to grind up to that level and grind that rift, that mega rift, to try and do it. And again, World of Warcraft do this. It's not a new thing inside these type of games. World of Warcraft, you join a guild. The guild master will say, we want to take down this raid on Saturday. Sign up if you're interested. Then you go and do like a 20-man raid inside of World of Warcraft to get the boss drops, because that's where the best items were inside of these dungeons, inside of these raids. And you could get new armor and new weapons and things with better stats. And people love doing that inside World of Warcraft. And another good thing is, with this idea, it'll bring more use case into the Moco chat groups, because if we have this mega rift inside the game, the chat group can say, listen, I want to do a mega rift on Saturday. It's a 6-man. You could even have it as an 8-man mega rift. Who knows? 10 man. Like the options are endless with this type of thing. The Moco leader of the chat could say, I want to do the Mega Rift on Saturday. Sign up if you're interested. So then people say, yeah, I want to run the Mega Rift. I want to try and get my hands on this legendary weapon. They can sign up. I'm the owner of my chat group. I can get a team down, and then you bring in some more use case scenarios into the Moco chat group as well, because they are a bit boring as it stands now. You know what I mean? They could use a bit of work. So you're getting two birds with one stone there. You're organising it to do this Mega Rift. And I all think it just ties in really well. That is my thoughts on Endgame. I think that will help. Have leaderboards for the rifts and things, and let the speedrunners and the super competitive players try and get top of these leaderboards and give them like an exclusive title that ties in with that with that rift. Like I said before, the throne room. You could have it somewhat like throne room masters, and they've got that prestigious title because they come top of the speedrun leaderboard for the Nightmare Throne Room Rift, and do it for all the rifts. And like I said, I'm not a game dev. I don't know what sort of work and server maintenance it'll take to put these things inside of the game, but I think we do need some better endgame content in Moco Chapter 3 or in the future updates of Moco, because like I said, you just grind up to level 100, and a lot of players are quitting once they hit level 100 because they don't see the point in playing. And with the Mega Rift idea, I think that's for the most part, I think most players in the community would like to see something like that. Take part in this Mega Rift, give the boss drops, you get a legendary speed shot bow or a legendary variant of one of the weapons we've already got in the game. And these are just a couple of ideas I've thought that will help with endgame content. It'll give players something to grind for once they get past level 100. Because it is, as it is now, once they've completed the pass, there's no reason to play, guys. And it was the same in Chapter 1. I'm hoping the team has got something in the works for Chapter 3 to help combat this issue. But it is an issue inside the game. And that's my thoughts on it all. That's my ideas. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We'll catch you hunters in the next video.